which I just had a wonderful compliment. Someone told me that they didn't understand sex before. This is what you said, Ed, isn't it exactly? He didn't understand, now he understands sex. So I think that I performed a public service in that respect. I must tell you today I was nervous for so many reasons. First of all, because of the Swifties out there. I don't know about these Swifties. I mean, I saw you this morning. It was at 9 o'clock this morning. I was getting some breakfast. And I saw these girls in these long coats, and they're so elegant, and they're so dressed up, and they scared me. And then there were these little gay boys, or gay in between, and gay trans, I don't know what they are, but they're, you know, so devoted Swifties, and it all frightened me to death. So, anyway, that scared me very much. And then, but you know what happened at the bank? So I'm really bragging now. Somebody, the teller, now you tell me, because my partner says it's because he wanted my money. The teller. I don't think that's possible. But the teller who was young, and I wish he had been a little more attractive, but that's okay. He was attractive enough. He said to me, he's got my identification because I had to do something, and he said, "You are 71?" Yep. Totally unprompted, I'm telling you. And I said, "Yes." And he said, "You don't look a day over 50. Applause! You don't know what it does for an old man like me, an old gay man like me. You don't look a day over 50. And then on top of that, he says, "And I just say that because I want to say it for no other reason." You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know. It was like, this is my real feeling. And so my boyfriend said he wants your money. And I'm like, okay. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is an unprompted thing. Okay, now I'm going to explain the theater for you. So this is what. So I noticed today. It's going to sound very serious when I start, but it's not quite as grim as it sounds. So there was news the other day. I don't know if any of you saw it about a production of the Diary of Anne Frank. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
In Michigan, yes. And there were Nazis outside protesting or whatever they do about the Diary of Anne Frank. Now we all know in the theater, the Diary of Anne, like the play, the Diary of Anne Frank. It's been around for a long time. This is a little amateur theater company doing it. But, you know, it was just, I thought about this, and then I thought about the theater, and I thought, why are they bothering to go, of course, to a little amateur theater in Michigan to protest? And then I thought, this says something about theater, because in my view, the entertainment industry is out of control. And I know I'm preaching tonight. I guess I should have been a preacher. The entertainment industry is out of control. We have to watch these stupid superhero movies, you know what I mean, over and over again. And they have no imagination. They make the same movies over and over again. We get like 2 good films at Christmas. So anyway, what you get mainly on Netflix is garbage. Sorry, I'm telling you that. So theater is the only place where you're going to see ideas. And you're going to see challenging ideas. And you'll come in here and Spizzy will tell you what sex is. Because this is like theater. And Spizzy will tell you, you know, what else I talk about? The election. He'll explain all that stuff in a way that some of you may not agree with. Because theater can do stuff like that. And it's the only place it can happen. So the reason why the Nazis went there is because they realized that theater is actually important. And we have something to say. And we must not stop doing theater. I feel like I'm asking for applause at every moment, but that is what we must not, because it's the only place where we're going to be able to say things that are, you know, we'll be able to say them in the theater, because no one cares about the theater except for us. But it's so important. Okay. And I have a theater guest and who does important theater. And so I want you to welcome him. He's going to begin by reading for you, and then I'm going to talk to him. Will you please give a big round of applause for Damien Atkins. Thanks. Hi.
Hi.
I'm gonna read to you a little scene from a play that I co-wrote called The Gay Heritage Project. I'm not gonna explain it because it explains itself. I'm going to read 2 little scenes. They're not long. This one is a kind of infomercial. Yeah, get the camera right.
Don't you worry, you just live your life.
I'm looking right down the barrel of a lens. It's not my good side. For years,
Rosetta Stone has been the gold standard in language learning. It's never been simpler to learn a new language using Rosetta Stone's easy-to-follow instructional CDs. Shinsei wokwe shokoya. Now I speak Mandarin. J'aime quand je rêve en français. I love it when I dream in French. This year, Rosetta Stone is very pleased to add a new, sought-after language to our educational library. That's right. If you've always dreamed of learning Polari, a mixture of sailor slang, thieves' cant, Yiddish, and fairground argot, popularized in England's mid-century gay subculture, now you can. I can't believe me aunt knows. You mean this bijou program will help me Polari with me fellow Omi Polonies? Well, that's boner. It's Bonaroo. Rosetta Stone acts just like a patient teacher, using our patented instructional method to first teach you the origins of the language. That's great. I'd love to know that. I'll screech it for you. Polari was popular on ships, among circus folk and fishmongers, and in the entertainment industry. Basically anywhere you had BBs, bitches, crimpers, dilly boys, donors, dorkers, hoofers, poloniomies and omi polonies, who wanted to have a cackle in the bungaree free from any bartering naffs. Don't understand? Not really. Don't worry. Rosetta Stone's proprietary software won't just teach you the words. It'll match words to images and take you through conversational situations like the ones that created the need for such a language in the first place. Like, if I was talking to me Raya Juja about the black-eyed I had last night with that Omi with the boner dish, and I was concerned that the donor Ajax was a Sharpie Poloni, I didn't want to scarper with me ends off done. Translation. I could use Polari to tell my hairdresser about the hot trick I had last night without fear that the woman in the next chair was an undercover policewoman waiting to report me for illegal homosexual behavior. I get it now. Conversely, if I was having a Bavari with the cove, and I'd Vardard and Omi with a sweet capello and a pair of cats that only barely concealed his mammoth cart, I could go over Voganand, compliment his ewes, and see if he wanted a plate in the carsey. Boop. Translation. Let's say I was having a drink with a friend, and I noticed a stylish, handsome, well-hung man. I could go over to him and, using Polari, compliment his eyes and see if he wanted a blowjob in the toilet. I understand now. It was safer that way. Well, Varda, you're not just a dolly eek, are you? No. I don't think so. In a few short lessons, you'll be steeped in the wit, the sexuality, and the fuck you bravura of Polari. The language of the dandy, the freak, the underclass, the unsavory, and the unjustly oppressed. So what are you waiting for? With Rosetta Stone's Polari CD, you'll be trolling for Tootsie Trade in no time. Thank you. Thank you. This one will also explain itself. Is this slipping?
It's slipping.
Ryan. Thanks.
That's gonna buy you some time.
I think this one is this. I'm not going to try to explain this. It's bananas. Oh my! Oh, Toto! I'm suddenly frightened. Do you really think that we should ask? Oh, you know what? I should say this. Sorry. The play is called The Gay Heritage Project. It's it's a play about the search for an elusive thing called gay heritage. Does it exist? I don't know. You'd have to have seen the play. And maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Anyways, it's published. Anyways, oh my, oh Toto, I'm suddenly frightened. Do you really think we should ask the Wizard of Oz to help us find our gay heritage? You do? Well, all right then. And what about you, Scarecrow? What are you hoping to ask the wizard for? Well, Dorothy, gay heritage would be nice. And I'm also hoping the wizard will have some extra stuffing. I'm desperate for some serious stuffing. Here, and especially down. And what about you, Tin Man? What are you hoping for? Well, Dorothy, I'm on board with the gay heritage thing. But I'm also hoping to ask for a good can of quality lubricant. And you, Cowardly Lion? Are you also hoping for some gay heritage?
What do you mean? What are you insinuating? I'm not gay. Put him up. Put him up.
Enough chattering. Silence.
Oh, pardon us, O great and powerful wizard. We're looking for our gay heritage. Can you help us find it?
There is no such thing as gay heritage.
What do you mean? What have you done with our gay heritage?
It never existed. Sexuality is a construct. Friends of Dorothy, you are a construct. Pay no attention to the man behind that curtain. The sound of an enormous machine shutting down the wizard was revealed behind the curtain.
Oh, Toto, what have you... Well, I've never... I recognize you. You're Foucault. Michel Foucault. You're the all-knowing, all-powerful Wizard of Oz? Oui. Actually, that makes sense, Dorothy. Most modern queer theory has a Foucauldian foundation. You see, people in histoire have no concept of sexuality, and nowadays people don't think of homosexuality as a fact. No. We consider it, a culturally available subject position that is socially constructed within a particular historical moment, but that is received and has the effect of truth. Make him stop, Dorothy. He's hurting my heart. My heart. Your heart? Well, stop that. Stop that, Mr. Foucault. Oh, you're a mean and awful wizard. My friends and I can't understand half of what you're saying. You're making us all feel adrift in the enormous tide of history. We've been battling a kind of trans-historical existential loneliness, but you just want us to sit in it, alone in history. But Darcy, you're not alone. If you really want to find your gay heritage, consider this. Perhaps heritage is not something you discover, but something you choose. Heritage is something you choose? Heritage is something you choose. Come here, Toto. Heritage is something you choose. I'm clicking my heels. If you can't see it in the video, I'm clicking my heels. Heritage is something you choose. Heritage is something you choose. Thank you. That's it. Now we're going to move to the table. This is...
Would you like to hold the microphone or have a shirt with no side? Would you like to hold the microphone?
I sure would. You can still hear me? Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I need to turn it on.
Turn your mic on.
This stuff. Okay, that's it. Is that not? Yes, it is.
That's in front of my face now.
Oh, Damien, I just wanted to start off by saying that the things that you talked about, the Gay Heritage Project, which is a place that I enjoyed very, very much many, many years ago. But when you talk about the gay language, it's so true. Polari is real.
Yes.
You may or may not know.
Juge. Juge is a Polari word.
Juge.
We all know juge. You need to juge your
to
outfit.
juge someone? Oh,
yeah.
juge it.
It means to make it nicer. Juge is a Polari word.
Yes, and it really was a language, and you said the history, the gypsies, it was picked up by all these strange people like fishmongers and gypsies, but also gay people. But you explained it very well. Why would you have the language of the Polari? Because if you wanted, you're at the hairdresser, you want to tell somebody. Well, I think it's so true that I know that I have different when I'm with my gay friends than when I'm with all the men, and that's why I like the gay bar. I had this student, sorry, and then I'll actually let you talk because I know it's an interview.
No.
But I had this student when I was sometimes Spizzy forget his interview. But anyway, so I had this student, and this boy, he was so sweet. He came in, he said, student, and he came in and he said, I find that when me and my friends go to a gay bar, we get gayer.
Yeah.
And what he meant, I knew exactly what he meant.
Absolutely.
And he said, when we go there, we just feel suddenly that they can talk in a certain way and be, campy, which is part of our language and all of that. So it sounds, and it has a lot to do with the fact that our sex, we're not supposed to talk about it. And we also, we have a lot of it. Like, all I can say is that...
We have a lot of sex?
I think we
A
have...
lot of talk about sex.
Both. I think we have more sex than the straight people, but maybe you don't agree. Or
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, because we
Who's
don't know...
straight
what the
here?
straight-
Do you have a lot of sex?
The straight people are a bit
You're not
shyer
sex.
about it.
Put your hand
That
down.
incognito person,
Yeah,
that person
no.
with the scarf and the glasses is...
You can hide,
okay.
but you're not straight.
I don't think so. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. To say that we have more sex, I
Maybe.
do think. Let me put it this way. I think it's easier for men to have sex.
Yes, sure.
Because it's just so easy. You just pull it out and it's done, and you don't have to
Like
worry
ordering
about
a
pregnancy.
pizza, yeah.
Pardon me? It's like, yeah,
Ordering a
a pizza.
pizza.
Yes, kind of like ordering a pizza. Very much so. No. So anyway, but so it's that. But so this leads into something I was going to ask you later, which is, what do you think? It sounds to me like you think that there is something called a gay culture,
Hey.
but maybe you don't. And I want to hear.
I
that.
think I think so.
Mm-hmm. And
Look, I think I was like, how do you, if gayness is just about sex, then how do you explain the pre-sexual gay child?
Oh,
We've
yeah,
all
right.
met a gay child. There you go. That
Right.
child is gay, but that child is not gay because they're having sex or thinking about
But I
sex.
can explain that.
Oh,
Okay, so it was. Sorry, you shouldn't have asked me that, because now I'm going
I
to
didn't
explain
ask,
it.
but-
But there was a guy. There's a guy who. There's a gay theorist who says that the little gay boys, it's like Golden Girls. They all like the musicals,
Yeah.
and they don't. It's not like they go to musical school or something. Like,
No.
where do they figure out to like the musical? He said because they know that they are different from an early age, and they know that they don't fit, and then they need to escape.
sure.
And so it's like when you're little, you go, I know I'm not, for one thing, you know, the sports, the gym, quite
Yeah.
often, not always, there are, of course, masculine gay
There
men.
are sporty
But
gays.
even the masculine gay men knows that maybe they want to, are attracted to the men in ways that men are not. So they don't feel totally like men. So they get scared and they need to escape, and they go to, and they like musicals.
Yeah,
That's the
sure.
explanation. Like Carol Channing helps to deal with all of that. But anyway,
Yes.
so that's one explanation. But I guess what I'm talking about is there such a thing as art, gay art? Do we need to make gay art? Because
Yes.
you have made some gay art yourself, so you must think that it's important.
I do think it's important. I do think there is something special about gay people. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, sure. Okay, a few people. People are gay is boring. No, sure. I think so. I think there is something ineffable and interesting and different about it, and we don't quite know why.
Mm-hmm.
And bye. Thank you for coming. So I think it should be encouraged and cultured, whatever it is.
Okay.
Do you know? I don't know what it is.
No, I get it. So let me ask you this. So I am interested in you, like Damien, and you may have noticed, is an actor as well as a writer. He wrote the Gay Heritage Project. He's written several plays. Now, are we allowed to reveal the latest Shaw?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, he wrote the play about Sherlock Holmes at the Shaw Festival just recently, and it was pretending that someone else wrote it. He wrote a fake bio, which was the funniest fucking bio I ever read in my life.
Thank you.
Well, I told you, it's just so funny, and I thought it was written by some British guy,
Yeah.
or Australian, excuse
Yeah.
me, Australia. I
Yeah.
read the bio, and I go, I don't know about this bio. It's a little bit strange. He
It's a
looks
bit
like
off.
he's never really written much of anything.
Yeah.
And then I realized that you had written the play. Anyway, so he's written lots of things, but you're also an actor, so I wanted to get back to that. So one thing I wanted to say was, okay, here we go. I just throw this one out there. Do you think that it's different, weird, difficult being a gay actor?
Oh yeah.
So why?
Look,
Which means why in English? Why?
Yeah, why? I know. A lot of people like to say that the theater's full of gay people, and sure, maybe I don't. It's not. That's not been
It's
my.
not really true.
Let's. Yeah, it's not been my experience. I have to say the theater is full of homophobia.
It is full of homophobia.
Not to be a downer, but
Take that down.
Yeah, I do think so. Like maybe not at Buddy's, or maybe at.
It was at Buddy's too, or there were people who Sky started gay theater,
Yeah.
and there were lots of homophobia in the theater community about that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think it's maybe a bit underneath,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still there. In fact, it's worse because it's underneath. It's like in people's
Absolutely.
assumptions.
Absolutely.
And I know there are things that I haven't had access to. I mean, there's a whole thing about. I mean, there's an assumption, there's a kind of assumption that gay actors, that you can't shed your gayness.
Right.
Like straight actors,
Right.
for sure, you can
Get
play lots
Oscar
of
for
things.
the
They get an
gay
Oscar
role.
for playing a gay part. But if you're a gay actor, I had people say, "Oh, you can play such a convincing straight guy," and I was like, "Thank you," and also "fuck you," because I've been spending my whole life doing that. So actually, I think most gay people are experts at playing straight when they need to. So go fuck yourself. So sorry.
But
Friends at home.
absolutely true. No, I think that's absolutely true. And we do a lot of acting, for
Yeah.
one thing. And I think that's when gay men are attracted to the theater. It partially has to do with the fact that they have learned how to act and perform and
Yes.
in various ways and to hide and to do all sorts of that
Yes.
sorts of things. But I think you're right about that. That there's lots of straight actors and gay actors who don't like it. That people think that you're gay if you're an actor. For some reason, that's a
Yeah,
bad
sure,
thing. Or
yeah.
And you're right about that thing too. But when you go into an audition, for instance, would you think, well, I have to? You probably don't need to audition anymore. He's very good at
Yes,
it.
I do.
He shouldn't have to audition ever. But do you think that if you walk in the door, and let's say they didn't know you, but again, they know
Yeah.
you now. But if they didn't in the old days, that you'd have to think, well, I better lower my voice a little bit. No? Did you ever feel that way? Or you should just sort of not be
no,
too
yeah, a little
chatty,
bit.
not too chatty?
Yeah, no, I remember before I went in for a big audition, the artistic director, it was a show that the artistic director was not directing, and the artistic director, who thought he was being really fun, said to me before we went in, he said, "Oh, before we go in, the director's really concerned that you're gay." And then he laughed. I said, "Really?" And he laughed, because it wasn't a gay part. And then he said, "Just kidding." And then he opened the door. And then I thought, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to get this now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to spite you.
Well,
because
why
that's
did
not
he say
funny.
that? Is
Because he
it
thought he
true?
was being funny.
Oh, I see.
No, it wasn't true. He thought he was being funny. He thought it was a fun, teasy thing to say. And everybody's, friends at home, everybody is nodding or shaking their head in disapproval. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's things like that. Also, just a few years ago, I played Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and I auditioned for that part. Thank you. You didn't see it, but I was very good.
Edelweiss.
Exactly. I know, right?
I love that song. Makes me cry just to think about Edelweiss.
That
Anyway,
show
go on.
is full of bangers.
Oh my God!
Like before
Rogers
Captain Von
and
Trapp
Hammerstein.
even enters, it's full of
They don't write them
banger.
like that.
They don't.
They don't write them like that. Anyway, keep going.
And then
sorry.
you get to sing the
Little
banger
ode
of
to
them
Roger and
all.
Hammerstein. Sorry, we
Yeah.
were crazy.
So when I had to audition for it, and I told people I was auditioning for it, and so many people, actually everybody except for my best friend, was like, "Really, you?" And I was like, "Yeah, me." And I thought, and even gay people were like, "Really? Don't you want to rather play Max, the best friend?" And I was like, "The coded gay best
Yeah,
friend?"
exactly.
No, I don't. I said I want to play the romantic lead, the hot romantic lead who has 7 kids because he has so much sex.
But I will say, see, here's me typecasting, but I will say, not a gay thing about him, don't worry, but that there's something kind of held in about that character.
Sure,
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Which
yeah.
is very interesting, in which I have seen you play held in before, and you do it very well, among other
you.
things. So that may have been part of it, but exactly. So you're not supposed to go in, you're not supposed to play that role.
No, and they were even, and it was mostly gay people that said that to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I want to play the lead. I want to play the romantic lead, and then I did. So.
And was there ever anything? Where did you go to? Where did you go to theater school?
I went to theater school at Grant MacEwan College in
Oh.
Edmonton. It's now MacEwan University. Yeah.
You
It's a
must be the
musical
most
theater.
luminous luminary to ever come from Grant College.
I don't think so. Paul
Oh.
Dunn, who also was in the Gay Heritage Project, he went there.
Oh, okay. And at theater school, did you ever think that they were dealing with your gayness there?
Yeah.
In terms of like thinking that you had to do something, or
Yeah, I had an acting teacher that I really felt like, and now he has sort of since apologized, but I really felt like he sort of disdained me because I was the little gay kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't prove it, but he was pretty.
Oh, no, for sure.
He was pretty dismissive. He was
No.
dismissive.
Yeah, it's very, very subtle. But I mean, I know when I was at the theater school, they were constantly getting me to sit on my hands, and they said that I talked with my hands too much, and that I had to and I was thinking at the time, why wouldn't there be things that I could have played like flops and all that stuff? But they were just trying to get it out of me. It wasn't going to happen. All my feminine stuff. When you're talking about the way thinking that we can't do it, I remember a situation where I was doing a show in drag many years ago, and these two boys young men came up to me and they said, "Oh, you were so great." Sorry, they did say I was great. They said, "Oh, you're so great." I said, "Thank you very much." And then they said, "We've had to ask you a question." I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Are you gay?" And I said, "Yes." And then they go, "Oh." So it's kind of like that. They're very disappointed. And then they said, "Well, we thought that if you were straight, you did such a good portrayal of a woman. But if you're gay, you know something more about being a woman," or something like that.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Which I understand that sentiment and I get. But it was just kind of like, it was so insulting, you know what I mean? So I don't get any credit for it because I'm gay. Give me a fucking break, right?
No, I know. Listen, I'll tell you this. When I have done Shakespeare, and the roles for Shakespeare amongst like, it can be a little tricky, and they want you to play, Le Beau in.
Right.
Is that As You Like It?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like the gay ones. Thank you, Ed knows the. Yeah, and when I played Osric in Hamlet, the thing I said to the director was, I cannot do some ridiculous gay fop that everyone's going to laugh at.
But that's what the part usually is done at.
Well, I said that we got to find someone else because I'll hate myself. And
Did you do it?
Yeah, we did something different.
Okay, good.
I said, he appears and he has all the knowledge. He's the angel of death.
Yeah.
And so I said, I don't think he should be ridiculous. I think he should be fucking scary.
But it's very interesting because that's good, very good that you did that. But when Laurence Olivier plays that role, apparently, and if you see him, he looks like Little Lord Fauntleroy. He has a little blonde thing, and he's very gay. And Laurence Olivier was very gay, and he plays this role. And then they made apparently Osric really femmy because they wanted to make sure that he didn't, it was that thing of not making Laurence Olivier look gay.
Yeah.
So if Osric was really fairy, then he wouldn't look gay.
Yeah,
apparently.
of course. But that's his straight privilege. He can do that and not hate his soul later. I'm just not going to trade in gay stereotypes for laughs.
Exactly. Oh no, I get it. But and have you actually said no? To a job that was trading stereotypes for laughs? That's very interesting. That's amazing because you lose a lot of work that way.
Yes,
I
you
know
do.
that because I didn't. I did those parts now and then.
So did I.
Because it was like you want to be the hairdresser or what. They still do it. I was asked, like 2 years ago, I was asked to, I haven't acted in anything, but I was asked to audition for the gallery owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all know about those gallery owners, like what's they're up to. Yeah, now the latest thing I just saw him is What the Constitution Means to Me, which is a very interesting play. But you was the first time when I perked up totally in that play. It was interesting, but very, very, Brechtian. It's all about ideas, and sometimes Spizzy gets very tired of ideas. But you turned up, and you did this thing where you talk about yourself. And I was talking to Joanna, I know her, the dramaturg. So apparently the way the play works is it says the actor does a monologue now about himself, sort of.
Yeah.
But did they want a gay actor for that role?
I think so.
Like in the script, sorry, did it call for a gay actor to talk about
It doesn't
himself?
say it explicitly, but everybody that she's ever hired, Heidi Schreck, who wrote the play, everybody she's ever hired has happened to be a queer man. And I think the idea is it's a person that you assume is a feminist ally. And that person has to then talk about how they have failed at being a perfect feminist ally.
Right. Absolutely.
And she's paved the way because she's talked about how she has failed at being a feminist ally.
But you yourself, what was interesting to me was that you talked about Damien Atkins and being a gay.
Yeah.
And it was just very interesting that you did that. And that's the kind of thing where I just think it's very, very, very important, even to this day, for you to be out and be an actor and teaching people and a writer and teaching people that you can act in very well in all sorts of things. You know what I mean? And be all sorts of things. And be one of the best actors in town, which is what you are.
Thank you.
Still be a flaming faggot. No, I'm sorry I didn't say that.
I think that's fair. No, I think that's fair.
Somewhere you are.
Yeah.
But, or else you couldn't have done the Gay Heritage Project and you couldn't have done it like that. So I think that our time is up. But I want to thank you very much, Damien. Unless there's anything else you want to say?
No, thanks. I mean, I accept that moniker. I'm a flaming faggot.
Well, okay, we did it here. You saw it here. Thank you very much, Damien Atkins. Clap for him. Thank everybody for being here.
Thank you. Should I go? Yeah. Here.